What if just one number, yes, a single digit, had the power to rewrite your story? Sounds impossible? Stay with me, because what if six numbers, hidden in the currents of ancient wisdom and cosmic alignment, were trying to reach you right now, in June 2025? Let's rewind a few thousand years. Pythagoras, the legendary philosopher, once said, "Numbers rule the universe." And across centuries, from the sacred temples of India to the whispered chants of Balkan mystics, numbers were never seen as random. They were divine signals, coded messages from the universe to the soul. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever seen the same number appear again and again? 111, 22, 77, maybe on your phone, a receipt, a license plate, right when you needed reassurance or clarity. What if those weren't coincidences, but codes? Because June 2025 is not an ordinary month. It's a cosmic crossroad, a time when astrologers, numerologists, and even ancient prophets like Baba Vanga and Nostradamus converge in their predictions. The veil is thinner, the energy is stronger, the signs are louder. This month, 6 sacred numbers are aligned to activate something deep inside you, not just luck, but awareness, opportunity, and maybe even destiny. Each number you're about to discover is grounded in ancient numerology, guided by the stars of June, and confirmed by esoteric wisdom passed through generations. Why does this matter? Because June is a rare fusion. The grounded power of Taurus meets the quick intuition of Gemini. It's a season of duality, past and future, logic and instinct, dream and decision. And in this energetic dance, numbers become more than digits. They become divine directions. The Buddha once said, "Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it." Sometimes, numbers are the compass pointing the way. And these 6 numbers of June, they hold frequencies of luck, clarity, healing, and even protection. But there's more. At the end of this video, I'll share a 7th number, one kept secret by ancient seers. They called it the Guardian Code, a number used to unlock resilience and spiritual shift during rare energetic windows, just like this. Still think it's just numbers? Let me tell you something real. A subscriber once messaged me after a video like this. She said she didn't believe in signs, but was curious. So she picked one number I shared, meditated on it, and then she saw it everywhere. On clocks, in graffiti, on a stranger's tattoo. Within days, she reconnected with an old friend who offered her a dream job she hadn't even dared to pursue. Coincidence? Or confirmation? So now I ask you, what if a number could change everything? And what if this video is the moment it begins? If you're ready to receive, not just watch, drop this in the comments. Now, I am open to the signs. I trust the numbers. The real question is, are you moving with it? Let's begin with the number 7. But before I tell you what it means, let me ask you something more important. Have you ever felt the whole world fall silent, just long enough for your soul to whisper something ancient and true? Have you ever woken up with a strange calm in your chest, like something unseen was calling you inward? Not louder, just deeper, like a truth you've always known finally speaking up. That is the energy of 7. In numerology, 7 is known as the Seeker. And how fitting, because June is the month that asks us to slow down, to reflect, and to remember who we are beneath the noise. While flowers bloom outward, the spirit turns inward. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." 7 doesn't flash with fast winds or surface-level luck. Its magic is quieter, wiser, steadier. It's the energy that leads you not to ask, "What do I want from life?" but "What does life want from me?" In ancient Buddhist tradition, 7 marks the steps of enlightenment, the path from confusion to clarity, from seeking to awakening. Legend says, when the Buddha was born, he took 7 steps, each one symbolic, each one sacred. Astrologically, 7 vibrates with Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and spiritual knowing. And in June 2025, Neptune isn't just present, it's activated. The air itself hums with heightened awareness. 7 doesn't shout, it whispers, but if you're still enough, if you're open enough, you'll hear what others miss. 7 speaks in symbols, in dreams, in coincidences too perfect to be coincidence, in that unshakable feeling that says, "You're on the right path, keep going." Let me tell you something real. A friend of mine, caught between holding on to a fading relationship and stepping into the unknown, kept seeing the number 7 on bus seats, on receipts, on hotel doors. Curious, she looked it up. The path of the seeker. So she booked her first solo trip, leaving on the 9th. And on this day of journey, something clicked. She told me, "I stopped chasing signs outside me because I finally realized I already knew." That's what 7 does. It doesn't give you answers. It reminds you that you've had them all along. So, let me ask you, are you ready to turn inward, not to retreat but to return? Are you willing to trust clarity, even if it arrives wrapped in stillness? Are you brave enough to pause, not to fall behind, but to finally move forward from within? Because the energy of 7 this June isn't just a number, it's an invitation, a lantern in your hand, a chance to realign with truth, intuition, and soul. So, take a moment today, write down your intention, speak it aloud, then sit in silence and listen. Because when the mind is still, the truth speaks, and 7 will guide you to it. As we journey deeper into this sacred month, we now arrive at a number that doesn't just whisper to the soul, it awakens it. This is the radiant, electric, and visionary power of number 11. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a flash of knowing that cut through all the noise? A gut feeling so fierce, so undeniable that it made logic step aside? Have you ever stepped into a room, opened a message, or glanced at the clock and just knew something was about to change? That's 11. That's alignment. In numerology, 11 is called the master teacher, not because it speaks of purpose, but because it activates it. Where 7 pulled us into silence and reflection, 11 strikes like spiritual lightning, lifting us from stillness into motion, from introspection to ignition. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." Well, 11 dares us to think beyond fear, to dream in soul language, to act not from habit but from higher knowing. In June 2025, 11 pulses even louder. The vibrant energy of late spring is peaking, and Uranus, the planet of disruption and divine innovation, is dancing boldly through the stars. This is no ordinary number. This is a spiritual portal, a frequency that doesn't push doors open, it vibrates them off their hinges. It's no accident that people across the world report seeing 11. 11. Right before a breakthrough. Call it angelic timing. Call it a cosmic code. Call it whatever you want, but it means, wake up. You're not alone. Across wisdom traditions, from Tibetan mystics to modern healers, 11 is known as the bridge, the thread between the human and the divine. It invites us not just to exist, but to evolve, to stop waiting and start becoming. I once met a woman whose spiritual awakening began not with light, but with heartbreak. One night, sitting in the stillness of grief, she glanced at the clock, 11. 11. A calm washed over her. She didn't know why, only that something had shifted. From that night forward, she saw it everywhere. On receipts, license plates, street signs, even the number of her new home, the very place where she would later open her healing practice, helping others rise from pain, as she once did. She told me, 11 didn't change my life. It reminded me I already had the power to. So now I ask you, are you willing to believe you're being guided, even when you can't yet see where it leads? Can you trust the whisper within, even when the world outside screams something else? Will you dare to believe that the vision inside you was planted on purpose? That it's not random, it's sacred? Because in June 2025, 11 isn't just a number. It's a calling to awaken, to create, to rise, not from ego, but from intuition. Let 11 be your lighthouse through the fog. Let it be the frequency you tune into when doubt comes knocking. Let it remind you that clarity doesn't come from seeing everything. It comes from trusting what you already know. So ask yourself today, how can I align more deeply with my highest purpose? What would happen if I truly trusted my inner wisdom? As you embrace the light of 11 this June, let it spark something bold, Not just insight, but inspired action, the kind that changes lives, starting with your own. And now, as our journey unfolds, we arrive at a number that doesn't just move, it dances. A number that doesn't whisper, it sings. Welcome to the radiant, expressive, and soul-stirring energy of number 3. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you laughed so hard your whole body felt lighter? When was the last time you created something, not for applause or perfection, but just for the pure joy of it? That is the sacred pulse of 3. It is the number of uninhibited self-expression, of joy that refuses to be dimmed. In numerology, 3 is called the creative communicator, a vibrant soul who paints outside the lines, who chooses bold colors over safe shades, who doesn't just live life, but performs it with heart. And here in June 2025, as nature bursts into its full bloom, 3 rides in like a warm breeze through an open window, a reminder to lighten up, speak up, and live out loud. The Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened." That is the gift of 3. Joy shared is never diminished. Creativity given is multiplied. Expression set free becomes medicine for you and for the world. 3 holds sacred space in the spiritual world. It represents the Holy Trinity, mind, body, spirit. It is balance. It is artistry. It is the sacred act of turning inspiration into tangible, joyful reality. Astrologically, 3 hums with the expansive energy of Jupiter, planet of growth, abundance, and wisdom. And under Jupiter's influence this month, your creative spark won't just glow. It could ignite something far beyond what you imagined. Let me tell you a story. In a quiet mountain village, I once met an elderly man. Every morning, he painted wildflowers onto pieces of driftwood. I asked if he sold them. He smiled and said, "No, I leave them on walking trails. Someone always needs a little beauty where they least expect it." That is 3. Joyful, purposeful, shared without expectation. Art as a gift, expression as a blessing. So let me ask you, what creative magic are you hiding from the world? When was the last time you honored your joy not out of duty, but from sheer delight? What would shift if you let yourself be fully seen, heard, felt? 3 is the number that bridges the vision of 11 and the power of 22. It's not just about dreaming big, it's about having the playful courage to bring that dream to life. And June 2025. It's the perfect backdrop, an energetic blend of grounding and opportunity. And with 3 lighting the way, this month becomes your chance to color outside the lines, speak from your truth, and live every moment like it matters, because it does. This isn't about artistic talent. It's about living artistically, with passion, with play, with joy. So, let number 3 remind you, your words matter, your laughter heals, your presence inspires. 3 doesn't walk, it twirls, leaps, and spins through life. It invites you to stop surviving and start celebrating. To write poems with your choices. To laugh from the belly. To speak your truth, even when your voice trembles. This June, let your creative spark roar. Let your soul write its own script through the things you create, the words you share, and the joy you pass forward. Because success isn't just a destination, it's a way of walking. And 3, it walks to the rhythm only your heart can hear. Are you ready to let it lead? Now, let's take a breath. A deep, steadying breath as we shift into the quiet, anchoring strength of number 4. If the numbers we've touched so far lift us into insight and imagination, then 4 is the one that brings us home. Because this number doesn't just inspire, it roots. It reminds us that while dreams may rise on wings, they are built on foundations. Let me ask you, are you building your vision on solid ground? Do your daily choices serve the life you desire? Or are they scattering your energy in 1,000 fleeting directions? In numerology, 4 is known as the builder, but not just of walls or structures. It's the builder of lives, purposeful, meaningful, resilient lives. Crafted one choice, one habit, one sacred act of devotion at a time. And in June 2025, a month when the seeds you planted earlier this year begin to push roots into the soil, 4 arrives like a wise architect, whispering, "You don't rush a temple. You build it brick by brick, with patience, with care, with heart." The Buddha once said, "A jug fills drop by drop." That is the essence of 4, not flashy, not fast, but faithful, grounded, unshakable. Across spiritual traditions, 4 symbolizes stability, the 4 sacred elements, earth, air, fire, water, the 4 directions, the 4 noble truths. All speak to a cosmic truth: structure is sacred. Astrologically, 4 resonates with Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, and long-term vision. Saturn doesn't offer quick wins. It offers something much more powerful: legacy. It teaches us that mastery takes time, that progress is quiet, that every act of discipline. I once met a woman who had lost everything when a storm destroyed her small family bakery, and yet, every morning, she opened those doors, even when only one customer walked in. I asked her why she kept going. She said, "I wasn't just baking bread, I was baking faith into every loaf." That is 4, not glamorous, but glorious. Not loud success, but soulful earned success. So I ask you now, what are you building emotionally, financially, spiritually? Are you willing to show up, even when the rewards are still invisible? Can you trust the process, even when motivation fades, but purpose remains? Because 4 isn't here to thrill you. It's here to fortify you, to steady your hands, to strengthen your spine, to remind you that real growth isn't rushed, it's rooted. When you align with the frequency of 4, you stop chasing lightning and start building light day by day. It's not glamorous, it's not Instagrammable, but it's real, and it lasts. So this June, ask yourself, what structure can I create today that will serve the life I want to live tomorrow? How can I bring more order into my days, more integrity into my habits, and more devotion into my actions? Let 4 be your compass. Let it ground your vision. Let it turn dreams into blueprints, and blueprints into reality. Because success isn't just a goal, it's a practice. And 4 walks beside you, one step, one breath, one brick at a time. And now, at the summit of our journey, we arrive at a number that doesn't just conclude, it converges. A sacred harmony of strength, wisdom, and spiritual maturity. This is the profound and quiet power of number 26. Not just a number, a cycle reborn. A whisper from the universe gently reminding you, true success isn't just what you achieve, it's how you achieve it, in balance, in integrity, in alignment with your soul's calling. So let me ask you now, from the heart, are you chasing achievement but losing harmony? Are your ambitions rooted in soul-deep wisdom or swept up in the noise of distraction? What would your life look like if you grew in both prosperity and peace? In the ancient language of numerology, 26 is known as the master of integration. It carries the energy of, quote 2, harmony, intuition, sacred partnership. 6, compassion, healing, the loving power of home and service. Quote 2, together, they form a number that says, yes, you can rise, but rise with soul. Yes, you can build, but build with heart. Yes, you can succeed, but succeed in service to others, not just self. Spiritually, 26 is the number of completion and continuation of wisdom born from wounds, and strength shaped by surrender, not force. In Buddhist philosophy, this is impermanence in motion, the sacred cycle of life, death, and rebirth, each ending a beginning in disguise. The Buddha said, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. And quote, nothing is forever, except change. Prophets like Baba Vanga and Nostradamus saw the sacred gravity of this number. Vanga called 26 a time of cosmic rebalancing, a portal for shedding the false and stepping into the truth of who we are. Nostradamus spoke of it as an era of reckoning not to be feared, but embraced. A time when those aligned with compassion and integrity would rise as healers, leaders, and rebuilders. And now, in June 2025, amidst planetary awakenings and collective elevation, 26 arrives as a glowing symbol of wholeness. It asks, what are you building not just for yourself, but for the good of all? Are you willing to rise without losing your center? Because 26 doesn't demand pressure, it invites integration. It is the divine middle way between ambition and awareness, purpose and peace. Picture this: one person, driven and determined yet burned out, disconnected, overwhelmed by tasks and timelines. Now picture them again still achieving, but grounded, realigned with their purpose, nourishing their relationships, creating from a place of joyful presence. That's the promise of 26. So I ask you, what cycle are you ready to complete? What new rhythm are you ready to begin? Can you honor both the climb and the pause? Can you balance giving and receiving, doing and being? Because 26 reminds us that you do not have to sacrifice peace to prosper, that the highest form of success is a soul in alignment. Every challenge is a classroom, every ending a sacred rewrite. Letting 26 be your compass this June, a guidepost for a life built not just on goals, but on grace, not merely on outcomes, but on inner alignment. When you walk in harmony with your values, the universe doesn't just open doors. It walks with you through them. And so we arrive here, at the edge of completion and the beginning of something deeper. This isn't just the end of a series. It's the start of a realignment, a journey inward and forward, a path not of pressure, but of purpose. If you've walked with us through every number, through insight, reflection, creation, action, and now, integration, then this final message is for you. You are ready, you are whole, and the path ahead leads directly to your highest self. Let June 2025 be your turning point, not a sprint, but a sacred step into harmony, growth, and divine purpose. A final blessing, the energy of 35. As a final blessing on this journey, we arrive at a number of rare beauty, a number that doesn't just speak, it sings of transformation. This is the energy of 35, a cosmic harmonizer, a divine code of movement, growth, and intuitive evolution. Plus, if you're hearing it now, it means one thing: change is coming, and you are ready for it. In numerology, 35 weaves together two powerful forces. 3, the joyful creator, the expressive soul. 5, the bold explorer, the seeker of freedom and adventure. Together, they form an energy as playful as it is wise, as visionary as it is grounded. 35 says, you don't have to choose between stability and movement. You can evolve without unraveling. You can adapt without abandoning yourself. Ask yourself, can I open to change and still remain rooted in what matters most? Can I grow, explore, and rise without losing the core of who I am? 35 answers. Yes, always yes. Yes, you can leap without falling apart. Yes, you can shift without losing shape. Yes, you can become something more without ever losing your truth. In the energetic currents of June 2025, 35 appears not as chaos, but as a coded invitation to blend your inner artist with your inner warrior to welcome change. As a creative collaboration with the universe, according to Nostradamus, 35 is the number of harmonious adaptations. It rises during moments of great transformation, not to warn us, but to remind us. This is your time. Rise with purpose, shift with power. And the mystic Baba Vanga? She saw 35 as a number of angelic intuitions, a sacred signal during uncertain times, calling the soul to trust its compass, even when the map isn't clear. She believed those aligned with 35 would lead not through fear, but through inner vision, grace, and spiritual courage. In Buddhist teaching, this is the middle way in motion, the space between extremes, the place where transformation becomes truth. As the Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, man cannot live without a spiritual life. And 35 reminds us, this fire of change is sacred. So what does this mean for you in June? It means your creative ideas are divine assignments. The waves of change are carrying you toward your purpose. You don't need to grip the shore. You need to trust your rhythm. Because true strength isn't loud, it's quiet, it's steady, it's you evolving with intention. So let this final number, this bonus blessing, carries you forward, not just to survive change, but to thrive through it, to not just pivot, but to evolve with softness, with strength, with soul. Let 35 be your guide as you enter the final chapters of this remarkable year. Your path is opening, your energy is rising, and the universe is whispering, "You are ready. Now go, step boldly, create joyfully, transform intentionally, with the sacred power of 35 in your heart. Build a life that is resilient in purpose, luminous with joy, and harmonized with who you truly are." And so, we arrive at the end of this journey, but perhaps for you, it's the beginning of something much deeper. The numbers we've uncovered together, 7, 11, 3, 4, 26, and 35, are more than digits. They are divine signposts, each one pulsing with a sacred vibration, each one placed here to guide your next steps. Let's remember their messages. 7 invites deep reflection. It calls you inward into silence to rediscover your soul's voice. 11 ignites intuition. It's the lightning bolt that awakens your purpose and realigns your path. 3 brings joy, creativity, and authentic self-expression. It reminds you to live artistically. 4 grounds you in patience, structure, and quiet strength, the sacred art of steady building. 26 harmonizes ambition with spiritual wisdom. It's the integration of soul and success. 35, our bonus, empowers you to evolve with grace, to embrace change while staying rooted in truth. Together, these energies form an energetic map, a compass to help you align your heart, mind, and spirit with the powerful cosmic shifts of June 2025. The Buddha once said, "Your work is to discover your world, and then, with all your heart, give yourself to it." So ask yourself now, which of these numbers is whispering to you? Which one is calling your name in this moment? And most importantly, how will you answer its invitation? Thank you for walking this sacred path with me, for listening, not just with your ears, but with your intuition, for opening your heart to the messages hidden in numbers, cycles, and stars. If you felt something shift today, if something in you stirred, aligned, or lit up, please give this video a thumbs up. Share your reflections in the comments below. I'd love to know which number resonated most deeply for you, and don't forget to subscribe for more spiritual guidance, numerology wisdom, and soul-deep insight to help you flow with the universe all year long. Until next time, walk gently, live fully, and trust the numbers.